Hi, everybody. Welcome again to Ivy League Analytical English. I'm Bruce.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
Today is the first lesson for us. We always have our vocabulary and phrase test for you. 10 closed sentences, 4 choices each. Let's see what the answer to number 1 is. This useful information can help us make more blank predictions of the weather. All right, so obviously we need an adjective here because predictions is a noun. Are these predictions A, inferior, B, fluent, C, delicate, or D, accurate? A prediction is something we say will happen, or we expect or even hope will happen. An inferior prediction, hopefully you wouldn't make more of those because that means they would be of very poor quality. There's no such thing as a fluent prediction. Maybe if you are interpreting or translating, you could use that, but that's strange.
Fluency is about language ability.
Very much so, not predictions. Delicate is fragile, gentle, soft, easy to break, and so on. We don't use that adjective with predictions, but accurate we certainly do. That tells us how close to the truth, how close to the actual situation something is. An accurate weather prediction means that if they say tomorrow will be hot, dry, and sunny, tomorrow is hot, dry, and sunny.
I wish that were so always true.
You mean accurate
Sometimes
predictions?
It's more like tomorrow will be hot, dry, and sunny, and then tomorrow and a half it starts to be hot, dry, and sunny. But it's a constantly changing situation, and they're getting really good at it.
And we have to remember, since I had to study weather in order to become an air traffic controller, we live on an island, folks, and that is the most difficult land structure to predict weather accurately. On.
For. You needed a preposition there of some kind.
I'm glad you provided one. All right, so number 1 should be, this useful information can help us make more accurate predictions of the weather.
OK， 好，那我们看到这个题目，他说这个有用的资讯要注意 information 是不可以数的不要加 s 然后呢，它可以帮我们 make 让我们做出一些更怎么样的 predictions， 就是预测那这个 pre 就是先的意思，那个 dict 是 to say 的意思，所以先说了表示我预测所以它可以帮我们做更怎么样的预测什么样的预测呢 ？of the weather 就是天气的预测，所以应该意思是要让我们做更正确的天气预测，所以我们选到第4个答案 accurate， 这个是正确的意思。那其他选项我们看一下 inferior 是比较差的lower in quality 那比较差的，那跟 prediction 通常不会在一起用。fluent 是流利的我们可以讲那个语言上很流利，但是不会说很流利的一个预测这个也不对。那 delicate 是很容易破掉、很容易碎掉的 easily broken or damaged也不会用来形容 predictions， 所以都不对，都不要选。我们选的是 accurate， 正确的预测。
Number 2. After receiving the family blank from the photo studio, we framed it and hung it on the wall. So what do you usually frame and hang on the wall? Pictures. So we're looking for something that means a picture. Our choice is A, lullaby. That's a song. B, portrait. That's a picture of a person or people. C, shelter. Shelter is like something that protects you from the weather. And D, vessel. A vessel is anything that holds something but is generally applied to ships, actually. You can call a ship a vessel because it carries something. And you seal up a ship, I think. Anyways, vessel could mean ship or it could mean like a glass bottle or something. Anyways, we're looking for a word that means picture, so choose B, portrait. It's the only picture-like word of our choices. After receiving the family portrait from the photo studio, we framed it and hung it on the wall.
好，在我们收到了这个家庭的 portrait， 这个是照片或者是画它重点是会把那个脸画出来所以这个正确答案。我们收到这个家族照之后呢或者家庭全家福照片之后从哪里收到呢？从这个 from the photo studio 就是一个照相馆从照相馆收到了，那我们就接下来就 framed it， 就是把它裱框 然后呢 hung it on the wall， 把它挂在墙上啊，所以正确答案是 portrait。那第一个选项呢 lullaby 它是这个摇篮曲的意思啊，其实你可以连这个 lull 这个字一起背啊 lull 就是使他昏昏欲睡，好 to cause to sleep 或者 rest。好，那个 by 就是 bye 啊，它有一个意思就是一个工具哈 used to lull a baby 啊，所以这个就是听了就很想睡觉，这个叫做摇篮曲。那第三个选项 shelter 是避难所啊，那这个如果这个讲到 family shelter 的话，好像是战争啊，或者是这个有龙卷风来了啊，全家可以在那边避难的哈。那这个东西没有办法挂在墙上的啊，也没有办法从照相馆收到，所以这个也不对。那 vessel 它是船哈，或者它也可以指血管，也可以指容器哈。那大指船的时候呢，通常是 larger than a rowboat 啊，比那个划的船还要大的都可以叫做 vessel 啊。那这个答案呢放在这里也不会，家里面除非你非常非常有钱哈，就你才会有所谓的The family vessel 哈，但是即使有，你也不可能挂在墙上哈，所以这个也不对。正确答案是 portrait。
Noah had a family vessel.
He certainly did.
诺亚方舟啊，那他有一个自己家族的这个 vessel。
Number 3. Many students have blanked their studies as a result of taking part in too many extracurricular activities. Extracurricular activities is the fun part of college, but it doesn't help you much with your studies. That's why many students have blanked their studies in order to have more fun. So let's see which verb here makes the best sense. A, employed. We don't employ your studies. Instructed their studies. Well, students are instructed. Teachers instruct students. So it doesn't work here grammatically. Neglected their studies. This does work. If you neglect something, you avoid it. You don't do what you know you should do if you neglect something. That works. How about witnessed their studies? Witness means that you have experienced or seen something and you know it's a fact, but you don't witness your studies. So let's go back to C. Neglected makes perfect sense. Many students have neglected their studies as a result of taking part in too many extracurricular activities.
好，题目告诉我们说很多学生怎么样啊？那我们要选的答案是 neglected 或者 neglect 这个字呢，它是疏忽或者是忽略、忽视的意思啊 ，to pay little or no attention to。好，所以他们疏忽了他们的课业 ，their studies 可以翻译成为课业哈，忽略了他们的课业。As a result of 啊，因为什么呢？是什么的结果呢？因为原因是他们 taking part in 就是参加的意思，因为他们参加了太多的课外活动啊。那这个 extracurricular activities 就是课外活动的意思。好，所以正确答案是 neglect。好，那其他选项我们看一下 A employed 它是雇用或者采用的意思啊，它不会说雇用或采用他们自己的课业，这个不对哈。那 B instructed 是指示或者教导啊，这个 in 就是 into 的意思。这个 struct 这个字根呢是 build 是建筑的意思，所以 build into 啊就是教你把这个知识放到你的脑袋里面去啊，所以这个是指示或者教导的意思。那放在这里也不对啊，不会以 studies 为受词。那 witnessed 是目击的意思，他们也不会目击自己的课业，所以 A、B、D 都不对，我们选 neglected。Number
4. The movie was blank scheduled for release in April, but it was put off until July. If something was put off, it was pushed back, it was delayed. So the movie was blank scheduled. It was somehow scheduled for release. What kind of way was it scheduled? Was it initially scheduled, so it was first scheduled for release in April? I think that's our answer, because first it was scheduled, but then it was put off. Our other choices are B, annually. If it's annually scheduled, it means every year this movie's going to be scheduled for release in April, which is not how movies work. Although that's a possible thing to do, it's just not possible for movies. It was economically scheduled. You can't schedule economically. This is not a collocation you can do. It's just not a concept. And D, occasionally scheduled. You can say that something is occasionally scheduled, but then you can't say when it was then scheduled for. It wasn't occasionally scheduled in April, because then it's not occasionally, it's not every once in a while, it's only in April. So these are not concepts that go together either. So choose A, initially. The movie was initially scheduled for release in April, but it was put off until July.
好，我们看到这个题目，他说这一部电影呢，我们要选的答案是 initially， 就是原来起初的意思哈。那它起初原本是 scheduled for， 它原来预定好的时程是 for release， 什么东西的时程呢？它发行的时程就是这个电影原来预定是要在 April 4月发行的，但是 it was put off， 就是延期postponed until July， 延到了7月所以正确答案是 initially。那其他答案我们看到 B annually 是每年的，它每年都预计在4月发行，这很奇怪那第三个答案 economically 就合乎经济效益的，你要这个预定一个时程，你不这个通常不会说合乎经济效益的去 schedule 这件事情这个英文里面没有这样的说法，所以这个也不对。那 occasionally 是偶尔，它偶尔预计要在4月发行，这个也不对，听起来根本不合逻辑，所以都不选。我们选的是 initially。
All right, let's look at number 5 now. Mr. Wilson's blank statements will inevitably trigger conflicts with some groups. Mr. Wilson made a statement, so he said something that some people think will surely, will certainly, will inevitably. Trigger here means cause, to cause conflicts. People can say things that upset people very much. So what kind of statements would these be? Would they be intensive statements? I'm not even sure what that means. Offensive statements? If something offends you, it upsets you. It makes you feel very uncomfortable.
Makes you mad.
It can make you mad or even violent in some cases. Protective statement is like intensive statement. Constructive statement, now this is a collocation, but if something is constructive, if a statement is constructive, it is helpful. It's positive, and that would not trigger a conflict. Definitely choose B. Mr. Wilson's offensive statements will inevitably trigger conflicts with some groups.
好，所以我们看到这个题目说，这个 Mr. Wilson 他有一些怎么样的一些 statements， 一些言论那这些言论呢，一定是会 inevitably就是不可避免的，它一定会 trigger 是引发set off 的意思它会引发一些 conflicts， 一些这个冲突with 跟谁冲突呢？跟一些这个团体之间的冲突所以它这个言论呢，我们找到最好的答案应该是 be offensive， 就是攻击性的它有攻击性的，或者是它会造成对方很生气causing danger或者 displeasure 或者是 resentment让人家听得很不舒服的这种言论，一定会造成一些 conflicts， 所以这个正确答案。那 A intensive 是密集的所以它密集的言论，密集言论不一定会造成什么样的 conflicts， 所以这个不对。那 protective 是保护性的那这个 TECT 它其实是 cover 的意思那这个 pro 就是 for， 所以 for cover， 所以就是为了把你罩起来的，保护你的，叫 protective。那 D constructive 是建设性的，我们刚刚看到 instruct， 那个 struct 是 build， 这个 struct 也是 build， 所以它跟建设有关。那但是不是我们的答案，因为所谓建设性的言论不会造成 conflicts 的，所以这个也不对，不要选，我们选 offensive。
So instruct means building within?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Inside your brain.
And construct means build together, put them together.
Because not just one person can build something.
Yeah, or you put things together. Yeah.
Oh, right. Cool.
We're learning more English every day with Wesley.
So number 6. Mandy often blanks with her husband. I can't help but turn it into a verb. Mandy often blank with her husband when they couldn't reach a consensus on how to educate their child. A consensus is total agreement. If you can't reach a consensus, it means that maybe some things are agreed on and some things aren't agreed on, but a general agreement has not been reached. So when they can't get to an agreement, they often blank. Does she gamble with her husband? She often gambled with her husband. They often said, okay, whoever gets $500 in poker first, you can decide on what happens to our child. No. Be reflected. If you reflect on something, it means that you think about it. So does she and her husband sit there and think about why they couldn't reach a consensus? That's a nice thing, but I don't think that's what the sentence means. Mandy often quarreled with her husband when they couldn't reach a consensus. This is much more typical of human beings, that when you can't agree, you start to fight. And so that might be our answer. And then there's D, commented. Mandy often commented with her husband, like, that's interesting. We can't reach a consensus. Strange. I would rather pick C. Not that I think it's a great idea, but I think that is the most likely answer. Mandy often quarreled with her husband when they couldn't reach a consensus on how to educate their child.
所以 Mandy 常常会干嘛呢？正确答案是 C, quarreled， 就是这个争吵的意思啊。她常常会跟她的先生争吵，好，后面那个 quarrel 这个字后面会加一个 with， 那跟她先生吵架争吵，当他们没有办法 reach a consensus， 就是得到共识，在哪一方面得到共识，我们用 on 这个介系词。那当他们没有办法在 how to educate their child 这一方面得到共识，如何教育小孩方面得到共识的话，他们就会吵架，所以正确答案是 quarreled。那其他选项我们看讲 gambled 是赌博啊，没有办法得到共识就赌博，这个很奇怪，而且绝对不可取啊。那 reflected 是反省啊，但是它后面通常接的介系词是 on 的意思啊，是 on 而不是 with， 所以这个意义用法都不对。那 commented 通常也会是 on 这个介系词啊，所以它是评论的意思，所以意义用法都不对。那我们选的是 quarreled。
Number 7. Although more and more countries emphasize gender equality, women still have more blank to overcome in the workplace. Our choices: A, barriers, B, miracles, C, disasters, and D, legends. Well, one of the keys here will be still have more blank to overcome. What do we overcome in English in terms of the language? A, barriers is good, and a barrier is something that stops you from doing something. So if a woman is told she can't do something or is not allowed to do something simply because she's a woman, then that is definitely a barrier, and we should overcome a barrier. But we don't say overcome a miracle. Usually a miracle is something wonderful that happens, and you would welcome it, not want to get rid of it or overcome it. To overcome disasters in the workplace, that's a little strong. You can't overcome a tornado or a tsunami or an earthquake, and those are disasters, so it doesn't really work. Again, legend, like miracle, very often is something positive, and I don't see how you could overcome a legend. But again, you could certainly overcome a barrier with great effort, but the collocation is there, so choose A. Although more and more countries emphasize gender equality, women still have more barriers to overcome in the workplace.
好，我们看到这个题目，他说呢，虽然越来越多的国家啊 ，more and more countries emphasize 强调 gender equality， 就是这个性别平等啊，越来越多国家强调性别平等。虽然是这样子呢，女人啊，就女性呢，仍然有很多东西，什么东西要 overcome 啊 ，overcome 是这个克服的意思哈啊。那在 in the workplace， 在工作场合，在职场啊，女人仍然有很多东西要 overcome 哈。那所以正确答案我们要选的是 A 啊 ，barriers 它就是障碍的意思啊。这事实上 bar 哈，它意思很多，其中一个意思 bar 也可以是障碍的意思。好，所以你可以两个字一起记哈。那 miracles 是奇迹啊，你要克服奇迹吗？奇迹不要克服的，越多越好，不要克服，所以这个不对。disasters 是灾害，常常讲的是天然灾害或者很重大的灾害。那灾害也不是 something you can overcome 啊，所以这个也不对。那 legends 是传说传奇，这也不是你要去克服的一个东西，所以都不对。我们选的是 barriers。
Number 8. John blank and turned in bed all night, bothered by the fact that his girlfriend had just broken up with him. So today's blank is part of a common collocation, and it's a common collocation because of the alliteration. What does alliteration mean? It means that they use the same initial sound. So let's look at our 4 words. A, crept, B, tossed, C, bloomed, and D, fled. John blanked and turned. Well, the only thing that has another t sound at the beginning is B, tossed. And tossed and turned is what we talk about when someone really can't sleep. They just keep turning over and over in their bed. They toss and turn. Choose B. John tossed and turned in bed all night, bothered by the fact that his girlfriend had just broken up with him.
好，那这一题考的是英文常常用的2个字，常常会出现在一起的3个字哈 ，toss and turn， 尤其是指辗转反侧哈，这个难以入眠的时候，通常就 toss and turn。toss 这个字本来是丢的意思啊，那也可以表示这个睡不着哈 ，to toss in one's sleep 啊，但它常常跟 turn 放在一起，所以这一题考的是这个片语，所以正确答案就是 tossed。它辗转反侧啊，在床上整个晚上都睡不着。 bothered 啊，这个是有一点稍微用的太轻了哈，只是烦心而已哈。他女朋友刚刚跟他分手，他觉得有点烦哈，这个通常应该是很伤心吧哈。你这个 bothered 啊，我们刚刚在聊的时候，bothered 通常是你想到可能是蚊子啊什么东西的哈，不会是说啊女朋友跟你分手，你只是 bothered 而已哈。不过 anyway， 他也许他的态度就是这样子。好，所以正确答案是 tossed。那 C bloomed 是开花哈，他在床上开花了，这个很好笑，不知道什么意思哈。那 fled 是逃跑啊，他逃跑在床上逃跑，那逃到哪里去呢？而且这个通常来讲也不会在床上啊做 fled 这个动作，好，所以这个也不对，我们选的是 tossed。
Maybe he was upset by the fact, but he only wanted to admit to being bothered.
Yeah 啊，所以这个也许
Ask him.
Yeah 也许用 upset 也许要好一点了，至少 Yeah.
Okay, number 9. Mr. Davis was blank with Roy because he was late for school 4 days in a row. Sounds like Mr. Davis is either a father, a teacher, the principal, and Roy is a student, and this student has been late for school 4 days in a row.
I hope he has a real excuse.
I'm sure he has 4 different excuses. The dog ate my homework.
Yeah.
Missed the bus.
Whatever. So, Mr. Davis, how would you feel, if an employee or a student or your friend was constantly late? Would you feel A, optimistic, B, tolerable, C, cunning, or D, furious? I would feel D. I love being on time, and I think everyone else should be on time too. The other 3 don't work here. Optimistic is to think something is good and you look forward to it. Tolerable, well, that's okay. Just don't do it another 4 days. I don't think so. Cunning doesn't work. Cunning means clever, but it doesn't work here at all. Definitely choose D. Mr. Davis was furious with Roy because he was late for school 4 days in a row.
好，这个句子的题目啊，里面有3个很值得学的片语，一个是啊，就我们正确答案 to be furious with someone， 就是这个非常气啊，这个很生某人的气 ，furious 是非常气啊。那另外一个 to be late for school 啊，所以这个 Mr. Davis 很气这个 Roy 啊，因为他这个 late for school， 他上学迟到啊。然后第3个值得学的片语是 4 days in a row 啊。多少天，一连4天的意思啊 ，in a row 就是一连，所以 4 days in a row 就是一连4天，他一连4天上学都迟到，所以啊，这个让人家很生气。那其他答案我们看一下 ，A optimistic 是乐观的啊，这个一连4天迟到，这个老师通常不会觉得太乐观，所以这个不对。Tolerable 是可以忍受的 ，passable 好 acceptable but not very good 哈，但是放在这里也很怪哈，这个勉强还可以忍得过去啦，那也不对哈。那 cunning 它是很狡猾的，所以放在这个地方也不对，意思也不对，所以都不能选。我们选 furious, to be furious with someone.
Number 10. A research team suggests that additional factors besides climate change probably blank the giant deer's eventual extinction. So this giant deer died out, went extinct because of factors including climate change. So these things probably helped cause the extinction. Let's look for something that looks like cause. A, fastened, B, loosened, C, hastened, or D, broadened. Hey, none of these really are about causing, although hastened is about making something happen faster. But that works because these factors probably moved up the schedule for this extinction. So let's choose C. A research team suggests that additional factors besides climate change probably hastened the giant deer's eventual extinction.
好，刚刚 Angela 讲的 move up the schedule 就是这个把它提前了，好，在时程上面把它提前了。好，那题目里面我们看到说，有一个研究团队呢，他们表示，他们认为说，这个 additional factors 一些额外的一些因素啊，除了什么东西是额外的因素呢？除了这个 climate change， 除了气候变迁之外，可能还有其他的因素，也许 hastened 加速了啊，这个 giant deers 就是大角鹿它的 eventual extinction， 它最后的这个 extinction 是灭绝啊，所以这一题我们要选的是 hastened。那刚刚注意到这个Angela 老师念的时候，他是念 hastened， 他不是念 hastened 啊，所以那个 t 是不发音的。同样的 A 这个选项不是 fastened 啊，是 fasten 啊，那个 t 也是不发音的，所以 A fasten 也是 t 不发音，它是绑紧的意思啊 ，fasten your seat belt。那 B loosened 是放松啊，那 D broadened 是加宽啊，这个放在句子里面都讲不通，都不对啊，所以我们要选 hastened， 加速了他们的灭亡。
Okay, that is it for today. Join us anytime you can. This month, next month, forever.
All the months.
Until the next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.